when we think about what strong evidence looks like, really what we mean is what does weak evidence look like? The assumption of scientific literature is that the evidence should be strong, otherwise we wouldn't be seeing it. Otherwise it wouldn't count as evidence. And so what we're really trying to do is to figure out how to be good at scrutinizing it, identify those things that are potentially problematic. Now, most of the examples I'm going to talk through today will come from the land of psychology. I'm a psychologist by background. And so it means that when I am criticizing something, it's basically like me pointing the finger at myself. Whereas if I only criticized economics or political science, it would make me seem sort of smug. And I don't want to seem that way. I want to seem self-critical. But it should apply across all disciplines. So if the goal of science is to distinguish what is true or replicable, is sort of our operational definition, from what is false, then we want to know how to do that and what are the consequences. So false findings are bad. And we sort of understand that, but I think often people don't recognize how truly bad they are. So when we publish false findings, it defeats the central purpose of science, which is to be able to make accurate predictions about other things in the world. Essentially, predicting the future is the value of science. And so clearly, if you have false findings, it makes your predictions less accurate. That's bad. It makes it harder to publish true findings. That's because the false findings are crowding out the true ones and also making it harder for the true things to distinguish themselves. False findings, again, bad. It also, the mere presence of lots of false findings in literature incentivizes bad research practices, and therefore more false findings. So basically, this is just a reminder that false positives, false findings, they're just bad for everybody. Great. Okay. There's a couple of things that we can do to try to remove false findings. One is to do open science. Of course, that's the whole topic here. If everyone is doing their transparent reporting, their pre-registrations, their pre-analysis plans, their open sharing of materials and data, that's good. Let's assume that not everyone is instantly on board with that. The other half of the equation is for us to read everything else and evaluate it effectively. That is, identifying which papers, which findings aren't as strong. So I'm going to focus on 3 threats to validity. I'll spend most of the time on the first 2, and we'll see how we get to the third. Selective reporting in different ways clearly matters, and it's the part of the topic of what Ted was just referring to, either p-hacking or file drawings to pull studies. Fraud, sort of making up data from scratch or adjusting it in a way that is not simply selective reporting, or errors or hidden confounds. And this is sort of a lurking case-specific version that has always been there, and our field is meant to be a good